The first draft of a scene is obviously going to be rough. It's going to have errors. It's not going to be kind of the ultimate version. If you think you can write your whole memoir in one draft, you're kidding yourself. It always takes revision. Revision is where we improve on things. But the rough draft can provide at least a structure, a skeleton, a foundation upon which an editor, like me, can then look at it and say, okay, expand this, make this, improve this, add description, and so on. I want to give you an example of what that might look like here from a client of mine. Here's a simple paragraph, and I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to go through and say what I would do now, once we're in the revision stage. This is not publishable. This is not final. This is not the standard we're trying to achieve, which is a professional standard. But this is a start, and that's often all you need when you're writing your memoir. Just to start, get things down on the page, and then look at it later with objective eyes, or get someone like me to look it over, and then tell you which way to go next. So let me read this, and I'll say what I would do with this paragraph to expand upon what this skeleton is. Tired from fishing, shopping, eating, and sitting in a car all day, everyone mutually decided to stay in for the night. After about 3 hours of lazing around, emerged a plan. My aunt planned to get Mexican food, stop at the liquor store, and rent a movie. Since my aunt believed in doing rather than letting others do it, she charged out the door to get food. So far, I mean, nothing much has happened here. This is only the beginning of a rough draft of a story, and more interesting things will happen once the aunt returns. But if you wanted to expand this and make it more vivid and real and immediate, the first part here, we have to deal with this idea that everyone mutually decided to stay in for the night. So what you would have to do there is expand that. Set up a meeting. Show a meeting between the 3 or 4 of you that are hanging out, after fishing, shopping, eating, and sitting in the car, and discuss your options. And hopefully that's an interesting conversation. If it wasn't, then I wouldn't write about it. Of course, before that, you would have had some stories about fishing, shopping, eating, and sitting in the car. But for now, you expand that part about the decision. Now, I'm not sure what to do with this after about 3 hours of lazing around. I'm not sure if there's any stories there. But if there's some kind of scene there that shows your laziness, maybe that's an important part of the story. Being bored and sitting around with people, then describe it in a paragraph. Because you say it emerged a plan. So if you had written that, I would say, how did that plan come about? What sparked it? What led to the plan coming about? And just show that. Just show what people said, what they did. And that'll just bring it all to life. Because right now we have everyone decided and emerged a plan. So it's very abstract. It's very distant. I can't see these people. Who are these everyones? What do they look like? Now, we do get an individual here. My aunt planned to get Mexican food, stop at the liquor store, and rent a movie. That's a little more detailed, right? Now, what does that mean by plan? Did she say that to you? Did you say, can we get some dialogue in there and where she's actually talking about this? Or is she mad at everybody else because they're so lazy? What happened? What sparked her to say she was going to go get Mexican food, go to the liquor store, rent a movie? What movie was she thinking of getting? Obviously, this is a long time ago since we don't go and rent movies anymore. It just shows the age of the story. Is she going to Blockbuster Video, the store that used to be so popular back in the 80s and 90s? Now, since my aunt believed in doing rather than letting others do it, she charged out the door. I'm getting a hint there that she's responding to the laziness of whoever these people are in the scene. It's not bad. It's a bit of a telling point. Rather than seeing her go out and do these things, maybe you can show how active she was and how much of a doer that she was amongst this group of people. So that's just a few suggestions. That's what I would do if I was editing this and I was talking to you and saying, okay, what do we do with this paragraph? And then I would give you that advice, and you could take that and just expand it. And I'm sure you could create a really immediate, focused, real scene here of these people. And you'd probably add another 500 words to this, really filling out the story.